So here's a quick tutorial on how to use your calculators for this class because we're going to be using really big numbers with scientific notation. You need to know how to use your calculator, and there's an efficient way to do this that you may not have heard of yet. So the first thing we're going to look at is how do you punch this number into your calculator? And the first thing you might do is you might go like 6.022, you hit the times button over here, and then you times 10, use this button to the 23rd. But that's a really clumsy way to do this, and it's likely going to lead to mistakes. So there's a much quicker way to do it, and it's this little EE button right here. Oops, it'll click out of there. It's that EE button. Now to get that EE button, you actually have to hit the second button. Oh, it keeps making me click on things here. The second button and then the comma button, because that gets you the EE function. Now this EE stands for times 10 to the 23rd. So if you type in 6.02, and then you do second E, it'll look like this, 6.02, you'll see an E. Now that E stands for times 10 to the, so the next number that you type in is the exponent. So you don't ever use the caret or the exponent button when you use this EE button. So 6.02 E23 is the same as this thing over here. Now if you're using a Casio, you do 6.02. And then it's this times 10x button. Now the common mistake that most people use with this is they hit the times 10x button, then they hit this caret symbol. When you use the times 10 button, the next number you type in after that is the exponent. So you type it in like this. So you do not put the caret symbol in there. So don't put the caret symbol in there. So if you hit enter, it should, I believe, look like something like this. Now I'm more confident in the TI. I don't have a Casio to check, but I think it looks something like that. So double check, make sure you're typing those in right. And again, notice there's no caret symbol there. It's just you hit the times 10 button, 23 is the exponent. Now the reason that this is really important is your calculator now treats this number as one thing. You don't have to put parentheses around it. If you type in the 6.02 times 10 caret symbol 23, your calculator thinks this number and this number are separate and they're being multiplied. And that can lead to order of operations errors. So your calculator now knows that this is all one number, as opposed to your calculator thinking it's two numbers, which can really screw you up. Same thing here on the Casio, your calculator. I don't know why my writer thing here is not working, but your calculator now knows this is one number versus using the times 10 to the 23rd. So what I'd like you to do is this function in your calculator. Pause the video or just keep going here, but I want you to type this in. If you do it correctly, you should get this for an answer. If you do it incorrectly, you end up with, I think, like 1.394 times 10 to the 47th power. On your calculator, if you have a TI, it'll look something like this, a whole string of numbers, and it'll be E47. On a Casio, I think it'll say times 10. If you do this, it's wrong. If you get this is what you need to get. Because if you look at this number is bigger than the top number, so you should get a decimal, not a massive number. So do that check. If you do that, then move on. If you don't get it, talk to me in class to figure that out. The next thing I'm going to do here is discard those changes, is the worksheet. Again, I only have a TI for this, so you have to follow along. To type this in, and hopefully your Casio, if you need help, if you have a Casio, I'll help you. I think I just said hopefully I'll help you. I will help you. Just make sure you ask. To get the square root button, square root's there, so I do second, and then the square root. And then to type this in, I would do 1.21, and then again second E, fourth power. Now if I hit enter, I get 110. So you write the answer 110 for that. Make sure you're getting that number in your calculator. Do these with me. I'll do a couple of them here. Now for the next one, to get the cube root, I don't see any cube roots in here. So what you need to do, And oh my goodness, I think I need to refresh. Oh yeah, the math button, there it is. If I hit this math button, it gives me a whole bunch of new functions. And you'll see that the cube root is right there. If I hit the 4 button, I'll get the cube root. But instead of doing that, actually we'll just do that one for now. Now what I do next is I just type in 62.5, and you'll notice that that is not a proper scientific notation number to the 11th, and you should get that answer. So there you go. Make sure you're getting those answers. Now the next question, what if you have like a 4th root? And I'll work on this one with you here. Let's say I want to do the 4th root of this number. I do math. I'm already in math. Now this x means I can put whatever number I want there. Okay, this is a lot easier than it used to be. If I want to do the 4th root, I'd put a 4 in. Then I click forward, and then I would do, let's see here, I'm trying to think of one to check our answers. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. So the 4th root of 16 should equal 2. There we go. So we did that right. If you're not sure if you type something in right, just do one that's easy like this and check the answer. So 2 to the 4th power is 16, so then the 4th root of 16 is 2. So that's how you do that one. I'm just going to quick scan here. Now I'll zoom out. I think if you can handle those, you can handle about anything. The key here, though, for these, when you do this, you got a lot of parentheses going on here. What I would recommend is that you do the entire top, get the answer for the top, write it here, go across the bottom, get the answer for the bottom, then divide your top answer by your bottom answer. Otherwise, you're just going to have a mess of parentheses, and if you type in your parentheses wrong, it'll be wrong. So this I think is a better way to do it. Especially here in this one, you have one of these big numbers to the 4th power. Maybe even do this first, type that in, get an answer, write it above it, then multiply this times the answer of this by this right on top. So it might be better to break it down on paper than trying to just type it all into your calculator in one go. So you do whatever works best for you, but those are some tips and tricks on doing this. So hopefully this helps you through. And again, bring questions to class. If you have Casios, I will help you figure that out. Otherwise, go back if you missed anything on how to use a Texas Instrument.